She gave her last 12 to a stranger, then he returned as the manager who never forgot. The old man collapsed onto the sidewalk just as the afternoon crowd rushed past him. People glanced at him, then looked away. Some assumed he was homeless. Others thought he was drunk. A few simply didn't want to get involved, but one young woman stopped. She stood frozen for a moment, clutching the worn wallet that contained exactly $12, her last $12 in the world. What happened next would change two lives forever. Before we begin, if you believe that kindness always finds its way back, please take a moment to like this video, comment where you're watching from, share this story with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Kindness Hub for more heartwarming stories that remind us of the power of compassion. The afternoon sun hung high over the city as 26-year-old Marisol Vance walked home from another exhausting shift. The day had been long, and life had become even longer. 3 months earlier, her mother had passed away after a difficult illness. The medical bills had consumed nearly everything Marisol had managed to save. The small apartment she rented felt emptier every day, and the weight of loneliness followed her everywhere. She worked at a neighborhood bakery during the mornings and cleaned offices at night. Even with 2 jobs, she struggled to keep food on the table and rent paid on time. Her bank account was empty. Her refrigerator contained little more than bread and milk. The $12 in her wallet represented her dinner budget for the next few days. As she walked past a pharmacy on a busy street corner, she noticed a crowd forming near the entrance. Curious, she stepped closer. An elderly man sat against the wall. His clothes were dusty. His face looked pale. His hands trembled as he tried unsuccessfully to stand. Most people ignored him. Marisol knelt beside him. The man's eyes were filled with embarrassment more than pain. He appeared exhausted. After speaking briefly with him, she learned he had been trying to purchase medication but didn't have enough money. He had walked several miles hoping to find assistance. Instead, he had nearly collapsed from weakness. Marisol looked down at her wallet. $12. Her entire world fit inside that small amount. She could walk away. No one would blame her. After all, she needed that money herself, yet something about the man's tired eyes reminded her of her mother during her final months. The same helplessness. The same dignity struggling against suffering. Without allowing herself time to reconsider, she opened her wallet and handed him the $12. The old man stared at the money, his eyes immediately filled with tears. Marisol smiled softly and helped him to his feet. She expected nothing in return. No reward. No recognition. No miracle. Just the quiet satisfaction of knowing she had done the right thing. As the man entered the pharmacy, he turned around one last time. The expression on his face suggested he wanted to say something important, but the automatic doors closed before he could. Marisol walked home hungry that evening. She ate the last slice of bread in her kitchen and drank water before going to bed. Yet despite her circumstances, she felt strangely peaceful. For the first time in weeks, she slept without anxiety. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months. Life did not suddenly become easier. In fact, things became harder. The bakery where Marisol worked announced major staff reductions due to declining sales. Employees feared layoffs. Every day felt uncertain. Marisol arrived early, worked diligently, and stayed late whenever needed. Still, she worried she would lose her position. One rainy Monday morning, employees were informed that a new regional manager would be visiting the location. Rumors spread quickly. Some said he was strict, others claimed he had closed multiple stores. Many feared he would eliminate more jobs. The atmosphere became tense. Marisol focused on her work and tried not to think about it. Around noon, several expensive vehicles pulled into the parking lot. Executives entered the building. Employees straightened their uniforms and exchanged nervous glances. Then the new manager arrived. The moment Marisol saw him, she felt an odd sense of familiarity. The man appeared healthier, younger, and more polished than the elderly stranger she remembered, yet something about his eyes stopped her cold. The manager walked through the bakery observing operations carefully. When his gaze landed on Marisol, he froze. For several seconds neither moved, neither spoke. Then recognition flashed across his face. The manager smiled. It was the exact smile she remembered from outside the pharmacy months earlier. The elderly stranger had not been elderly at all. The frail appearance had been caused by illness, exhaustion, and circumstances she never understood. His name was Callum Mercer, and he remembered everything. Marisol spent the rest of the day wondering if she had imagined the entire encounter. Surely someone so successful wouldn't remember a stranger from months ago. Surely she was mistaken. Late that afternoon, she was asked to report to the manager's office. Her stomach dropped. She feared bad news. Instead, she found Callum sitting quietly behind a desk. The moment she entered, he stood. Emotion filled his eyes. For a long moment, neither knew what to say. Finally, Callum explained. Months earlier, he had been recovering from a serious health crisis that had nearly cost him everything. Determined to reconnect with ordinary life, he had traveled anonymously across several cities. During one difficult day, he became dehydrated and weak while trying to fill a prescription. That was the day Marisol found him. He admitted that dozens of people had ignored him. Only one person stopped. Only one person cared. Only one person gave him help despite clearly having very little herself. He had never forgotten. Callum revealed that after recovering, he had spent months trying to identify the woman who had helped him. Eventually he learned she worked at the bakery. Coincidentally, his company acquired ownership of the location shortly afterward. The room fell silent. Marisol struggled to process everything. She had expected criticism. Instead, she was hearing gratitude. Callum thanked her sincerely, not because of the money. Because of what the money represented. $12 from a millionaire meant almost nothing. $12 from someone who had only $12 meant everything. For the first time in months, Marisol felt seen, not for her struggles, not for her hardships, but for her heart. The following weeks brought unexpected changes. Callum began implementing improvements throughout the bakery. Employee schedules became fairer, benefits improved, training opportunities expanded. Staff members noticed positive changes almost immediately, but Callum never gave Marisol special treatment. Instead, he encouraged her to pursue leadership training programs she had previously believed were beyond her reach. At first, she doubted herself. Years of financial hardship had convinced her she wasn't capable of more, yet Callum saw potential she couldn't see. He challenged her to grow. He encouraged her to believe in herself. Slowly, her confidence returned. Months later, Marisol earned a promotion to assistant manager, then another promotion followed. For the first time in years, she felt hopeful about the future. She paid off debts, she moved into a better apartment, she even began taking evening business courses. The woman who once survived on bread and determination started building a life filled with possibilities. Yet the greatest transformation wasn't financial. It was emotional. Marisol learned that kindness had value beyond immediate results. The $12 she gave away had not magically solved her problems, but the decision revealed who she truly was during her darkest moment. Character often shows itself when nobody is watching. Compassion matters most when it costs something. Years later, another unexpected opportunity arrived. A new bakery location was opening. Corporate leadership needed someone trustworthy to manage it. Many candidates applied, many had stronger resumes, many had more experience, yet Callum recommended only one name: Marisol Vance. The board approved unanimously. The young woman who once worried about buying dinner became the manager of her own location. On opening day, customers filled the store, employees smiled proudly. The ribbon-cutting ceremony attracted local media. Standing among the crowd, Marisol spotted Callum watching quietly from the back. Neither needed words, both remembered the afternoon outside the pharmacy, both understood how a single act of kindness had connected two strangers forever. As years passed, Marisol developed a tradition. Whenever someone entered her bakery needing help, she never turned them away hungry. Some employees questioned why. She simply smiled, because she understood something many people never learned: a small act of kindness can travel farther than anyone imagines. It can survive months, years, even generations. Sometimes the people we help become part of our future, sometimes they return when we least expect it, and sometimes the smallest sacrifice creates the biggest blessing. Before we reach the end of this story, please leave a comment saying, "Kindness always comes back." Your words may inspire someone reading the comments today who desperately needs hope. One winter evening, long after becoming manager, Marisol noticed a young woman sitting alone outside the bakery. The woman looked exhausted and hungry. Without hesitation, Marisol carried out a warm meal and invited her inside. As she watched the grateful stranger eat, she remembered her own difficult days, she remembered the empty wallet, she remembered the $12, and she remembered that kindness had once found her when she needed it most. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share this video. And subscribe to Kindness Hub. Your support helps spread stories that remind the world compassion still exists, and that even the smallest act of generosity can change a life forever, because sometimes the greatest investment we ever make is not in money. It is in another human being, and sometimes, when we give away our last $12, life finds a way to return something far more valuable than we ever imagined. The end.